So whenever I'm watching a TV show or movie, I find myself wondering what these characters are reading off screen, not just canonically bookish characters, but anyone. Like, does John McCain cuddle up with a book at night? And oh my god, what does Edna Mode's bookshelf look like? Anyway, these are some of the books I can imagine the characters of Friends reading. Little Fires Everywhere by Celestine. This is a suburban drama laced with tension that is totally Monica. She might read it in a book club with her Winchester mum friends, and the questions it brings up about motherhood would totally hit home for her. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. This one's pretty obvious. I feel like Monica would simultaneously love this book and also get irritated by it and write in the margins the way she does things better, and then spend time on forums arguing the best way to fold socks. Julie and Julia by Julie Powell. I imagine this as Monica's go-to comfort read, a book she's read over and over, and despite all the creases and the water damage from reading it in the bath, she can't seem to bring herself to replace her copy. Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer. Whether it's his love life in the early seasons or his career later on, Chandler is always yearning for more, to do more and be more, and I definitely think he's one to live vicariously through survival novels. Chandler and Joey actually joke about climbing Everest and instead decide to watch a documentary about it, and then actually decide to watch Die Hard again. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Chandler is known for above all else his sarcasm and wit, and I can imagine reading Douglas Adams at a young age would have moulded his sense of humour, and he's probably reread it countless times since. Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. While both Ross and Chandler read Lord of the Rings in high school, I actually think Ross would have channeled more into science and non-fiction, and Chandler would be the one more likely to continue reading epic fantasy into adulthood. What If? Serious Scientific Answers to Absurd Hypothetical Questions by Randall Munro. Like I said, I feel like Ross would lean more into non-fiction work as he got older, and I can imagine him getting really excited about every question in this book and then boring the entire group by repeating whole passages to them. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. He's a nerd who grew up in the 80s. It's basically a prerequisite that he loves this book. And since Ross often has the emotional maturity of a teenage boy, it's perfect. Guns, Germs and Steel by Jared Diamond. A geographical perspective on why some civilizations have prospered and some haven't throughout history. I'm not sure how Ross would feel about this book, I just know he's read it and probably had some heated discussions about it with his colleagues. Wild, From Lost to Found on the Pacific Crest Trail by Cheryl Strayed. With Phoebe's, let's say, unique childhood, especially with losing her mum so young, I think she would find familiarity and solace in Strade's memoir, maybe even inspiring her to make a memoir album about her own life. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I think Phoebe is the most likely person in the group to be into classical literature. Do not forget that Phoebe took a literature class and totally gets symbolism. I think she would devour this story. Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. Honestly, I kinda just picked this book because the boot on the cover kinda looks like something Phoebe would wear, but I also think she would love the story. And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This may seem an odd choice, but Joey likes horror and mystery. I can see him putting this book in the freezer every time another person goes missing. The Bro Code by Barney Stinson. Is this too meta? A sitcom character reading another sitcom character's novel? Joey was the precursor for the character of Barney Stinson, and in fact I'm a little scared about Joey learning more ways to manipulate women into bed, but I can't deny he'd love the book. The Princess Bride by William Golding. Joey definitely picked up this book after he had enjoyed the movie. For Zeke, the giant is obviously going to be his favourite character. 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Yes, I know, but Rachel has a history of reading erotic novels, and honestly I don't think she would be able to resist knowing what the hype was about. And she would get a kick out of the whole rich billionaire fantasy thing. Hijacking the Runway: How Celebrities Are Stealing the Spotlight from Fashion Designers by Terry Agons. Rachel's two biggest loves in the whole world are fashion and gossip, and this book is pretty much just 300 pages dishing about celebrities in the fashion world. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This may seem like an odd choice, but I feel like when Rachel goes literary fiction, she goes for the heart-wrenching, spit-in-your-face, kick-you-in-the-crotch, painful literary fiction. Something long and melodramatic and, dare I say it, emotionally manipulative. She would also totally relate to the small group of friends living in New York thing, just with significantly less trauma. So there you go. This is what I think the Friends characters might be reading nowadays. Let me know if you have any ideas of other books they might be into, and if you also imagine what fictional folks are reading.